Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the KubeVirt weekly community meeting. I'm your host, Chris Caligari, and I have a co-host of Stu Gott today. And let's begin our agenda here. We usually start off with introductions for new folks who've joined the project. But as I look over the list, I think everybody here has been here a while. Do we have anybody new that would like to say hello? Okay, let's get into the agenda. Daniel, looks like you have the first bullet point.
Hey, I hope you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Great. So I was asking for the whether we are now enforcing the rules regarding joining the organization, because I've been pointed to a pull request regarding that matter, and yeah, I was just asking whether we should now ask everyone who's trying to do that to point him to the not yet merged questionnaire that he has to fill out and check all the marks and do everything that is requested on there, and then he can, for example, get back somehow. Yeah, as the PR is not yet merged. And I saw your answer, but I guess you want to formulate the answer yourself, Chris.
Yeah, I filled in a note there. I had a meeting with Josh Burkus last week. He's our representative at the Red Hat Open Source Program Office, who ultimately sponsors the KubeVirt project. His main concern was we had a lot of instances of code and or coder in the pull request. And he was very passionate about protecting other contributors and content producers. So he requested that we change all those words to a general contribution or contributor word where appropriate and for the sake of a complete English sentence. And I've done that, and he now approves that pull request, and so in his eyes, it's ready for merging. There was a number of comments in the Google document that I translated into the pull request and tagged all those users. Nobody has come back to respond to those comments. So it's probably safe to say that they're not passionate about what they said. So if somebody has an issue, we should create a GitHub issue and then work through it together and make an adjustment where appropriate.
Okay, so and Josh approved it already, or is going to approve it?
He is going to.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he is an owner on that repo.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if the proof is green or gray.
Yeah, I got his like voice approval. So
okay,
maybe I'll twist his arm to get him to post a comment to the pull request if we want to get official on it, and or see if he can actually approve.
So since it's not yet merged, should we just add the one person remaining the usual old way by somehow being known where he's coming from, which was there normally good enough to trust him?
Yeah.
Since it's not yet merged,
I'm going to leave it up to you guys. I'll handle the mechanics of it, and we'll leave it up to the community to vote yes or no. How about that?
Let's pretend for a minute that the PR was merged. What would be the difficulty with following the formalized process that we've laid out, even though it's not yet formally merged and canonized in our system? I think we can all reasonably agree that it's a good system and there's no objections. So I would play devil's advocate and say, yeah, let's start using it, even if we don't have the document completely merged yet.
And
yeah,
to chime in on that,
be a litmus test to see how well our policy works.
Yeah, Chris, actually to chime in on that, I've actually asked Hal whether he would be willing to do that, and he agreed on that. And yeah, I'm not. I think he told me that he wanted to share somehow his list of check marks with the community somehow, and yeah, get everything in what was requested in the list, and yeah, then we should be good with him. I would be sponsoring his request, and I'm not sure if anyone else would also sponsor his.
I'd be happy to sponsor him.
Great, that's good.
Okay, great. Then let's test the process on him.
How I think you're here, right? So I didn't want to talk just for you or over you. I think you might want to say something on this yourself, probably.
Yeah. So last week, I created a PR. That PR is kind of editing a long formatted file, and I think that didn't do anything, pretty much. And this week, Daniel asked me to fill out following a PR created from you guys, and try to fill it out and send to the mailing list. That was the process. I'm just about to send to the mailing list. Basically, in there's like 10 checkpoints and the 2 sponsors I have filled in, and then the PRs I need to write in. So right now, basically Google Doc submit to the mailing list. Right, this has to do with the GitHub interaction. Is that the right thing to do? That's the procedure you guys in mind, or there will be more rigorous process in terms of GitHub you guys want to employ? Either way, I'm willing to play along. That's it.
I think this would at least work for me, or also probably somehow just to take the content of the checklist and put this inside the PR description or something. I'm not sure what works best on that. So.
One question, are we doing these against Project Infra, or is this you're specifically attempting to join that group?
Actually, this PR is against Project Infra, right? Because the orgs YAML, which has the members' information, is there, right?
Got it.
I think I linked the PR from how inside the document. So if anyone is interested, just have a look, please, there.
Okay, I put a link to that checklist in the meeting notes. So Hal, please let us know what works well and what doesn't.
Okay.
I'm always on Slack, and and I check my email like all night long because I have 3 kids that wake me up all night long. And so I will get back to you eventually.
We don't have the same person, right?
See the bags under my eyes? Okay. Everybody good with this bullet point?
I am.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next one, which is from Roman.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a quick heads up about a change which you may see in the CI system when you're coding. In the past, Basil was also caching our unit test results, and Vasily created a pull request which will stop doing that and do the actual opposite. It will run every unit test multiple times, and it also shortened the execution times a little bit on the unit tests. So yeah, that's pretty much all.
So does this happen locally as well?
No, locally not.
Because it takes it takes forever to run.
I mean, it's much shorter now, but yeah, I mean, there are just a handful of tests which take very long. Someone should just shorten them. But he made it short already.
Okay, so it only impacts the CI lane. Is that accurate? Okay.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what was, like, I just briefly looked at the PR, but what does this fix? It actually looks like it fixed things, which was surprising to me.
There were 1 or 2 unit tests which are failing from time to time, and he fixed them. And to be honest, I can't right now even remember which ones they were. And if you don't cache the test results, they fail much more often, of course, in CI. And so you see earlier that they're flaky.
How has CI been running this week in general?
We had this week a GUI outage, which impacted us, which was interesting.
Yeah. Jeez, yes.
I'm just mostly mentioning it because it should not have had an impact on our CI system due to all the proxies which we have. But one part of the build process did not pick up the proxy and therefore tried to directly reach GUI, and therefore the outage. And fixes on the way to improve that. Other things, we had merged one pull request, which introduced an issue with memory consumption. We reverted the PR to resolve that. Yeah, I think apart from these ones, which you may have experienced, it looked pretty good this week, I'd say. I'm not sure if this is the impression from others too.
Cool, that's good news. Okay.
Yeah, I just to the GUI outage that it should not have affected us and the system. So it was a great test to see that we're still not where we should be. Okay, thanks.
Okay, is it the next bullet point is Kevin?
Hey, yeah, hey.
Yes.
Good guess. Yeah, we mainly during our retro this came up. We had the SSP team mainly has multiple people surprised and frustrated with the amount of time we waste, or not waste, but we lose on cluster sync, for example. If you just make a small change and you need to sync a lot of things, and we wanted to ask if we can think of a way that it allows to just update a single component in KubeVirt in general. Like, I was working on the Virt API, I made a small change, but I had to remove all my VMs, redeploy all components, but I just wanted to update Virt API. And it's a general starter of the conversation, I guess.
It's in general possible. We had this partial in the past, and I mean, it was very error prone, and therefore we removed it. But in principle, you just push the new image and somehow tell the operator that it should use the new image and roll it out. It's a little bit tricky, but not doable. If someone wants to spend time on it, it's probably doable.
One question was...
My baseline on that was, just to finish the sentence, is that I ended up removing all those optimizations, and I changed my workflow basically so that it works good with cluster sync.
Yeah, how is that? Because it takes time, and also if you test with virtual machines, you need to recreate them, restart them, do stuff on them.
So
even if you didn't
just
change
to
anything
weigh
lately.
in here, clusters have state, and so let's say you're changing out the Virt handler daemon set. That's great, but there would already be pre-existing caches and what have you on the Virt controller, on the Virt API, etc. So it looks good, it briefs well, you know, in your mind, it's kind of a do what I say, not what I mean sort of thing. But there are devils in the detail, and that's what Roman had hinted at. So I'm not, in general, if for a clean experience, just wiping everything and starting over is probably it's certainly the most reliable way. Now, yes, there could be faster ways, or or more streamlined things if you were in specific cases, but in general, we can't always rely on it. So, my 2 cents.
So, what's interesting is maybe we can speed up the deployment as such. So when you do make cluster sync and you just change, what you're probably experiencing a lot right now is you're changing something in the code base and it's shared across multiple containers. So it may even have to rebuild a lot. But
Bazel is smart enough to do that. The problem is that we really one idea to fix it was, can we tell the operator to not use chars but labels again, and you just delete the pod in question and it will use your newest build?
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, you can just, in theory. I mean, right now, we maybe just, it was even possible to just change the deployment by hand, because we only synchronized this when metadata changed, but now it's completely synchronized, so you can't do that right now anymore.
So would this be a workflow for you, Kevin, if we had a way of building the new images if they change, pushing them to your test cluster, and then you manually know which ones were the ones that you wanted to update? So let's say you're working on Virt Handler and you know that your change only impacts Virt Handler and you just want to quickly push Virt Handler. If you rebuild and just push out the new images, if you go and kill the Virt Handler pods and then they get recreated and I guess pull in, they're going to be started with the latest images.
Yeah, that would be that's what I tried to do already,
Yeah, so,
but couldn't get there. So.
I'm not sure, but it can be that we still tag everything with devil too. So it may be good enough to just go after a deployment to the operator and set the devil tag as the target tag, and then you can do this. Because it would then just run make push images, and it would push the new images, and then you would have on the nodes the new devil tagged images, and just killing the deployment then would use the new one then. Something like this.
Okay.
Yeah, so this would be doable. So just, I'm not sure if it's how far it is done or not, but it would be okay if you just go in and say, when you do a make cluster sync, that you're deploying locally the operator, not with char-sums, but with the devil tag. We have on the API the field where you can specify the tag. And then you just, and the idea would be that you then run make cluster sync and not make cluster sync, but just make push images instead of make cluster sync, which would result in new devil tagged images being published and pulled to the node, and then you just kill the component where you want new images.
I think that would be a great step towards making
Yeah. So
at
this
least
would
few
be a
lives easier.
workflow which would be okay because you would still have the pretty much foolproof way. And
Yeah.
if you want to just do something like this, it would also work.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll give it a look when I have time. But thanks a lot. At the confirmation alone that it could work and is already good to know.
Kevin, do you have an issue or a pull request for this?
No, not yet. We just it came up a few days ago, and I said I'll discuss it here.
Sounds good. Okay, that takes us to the end of the official agenda. Is there any other points that people want to talk about before I have to ramble on about community stuff? Okay, open floor time. I'm going to talk for a minute. The first point I have is regarding event updates for volunteers. Again, I'm putting out a call to ask for volunteers to help out attend the booth for Red Hat Summit and KubeCon EU events. That is going to be just a chat system like Slack. The other advanced features such as instant messaging and video conferencing that are embedded into the platform are going to be turned off. If attendees want to do something more advanced and more one-on-one with the community, just send them my way, and we'll schedule time and open up the Zoom conference. Generally, I want to use the Zoom conference as much as possible. It seems to be a really good tool. What else? Oh, community members and non-Red Hat employees are absolutely welcomed and encouraged to attend the booth at Red Hat Summit. So if you want to work side by side with the Red Hat folks in the community, excellent opportunity. We have unlimited passes. Please see me if you're interested in participating. I've already talked about the booth features. KubeCon booth. The KubeCon booth is going to be office hours only, and that's similar format as Summit. It's just going to be a chat during blocks of hours. I have a document that's basically got everybody who's going to be at the booth during 1 hour blocks of time. I'd like to have 2 people per block of time. If not, I have to do it all. And I don't want to, but I will if I have to. I have a pending question with the open source program office regarding the language for the EU hours. Not sure if that's good, if we want non-English speakers or if English only speakers are going to be okay. I'll find that out tomorrow. And last point regarding general open source program office interactions. I've been with KubeVirt for about a year, and I haven't seen much relaying of the information that's gone on with between KubeVirt and OSPO. I think I'm going to change that this next cycle, and like I emailed the KubeVirt devel list these meeting notes. I'm going to do the same with the OSPO meeting notes, so that everybody is on the same page as me with what's been getting discussed. And hopefully that's one more baby step away from being so Red Hat centric. Okay, let me just fill in that little bit of information there. All right, next section is major pull requests worthy of discussion. Usually we talk about our new membership policy, but we have already done that. Is there anything else that anybody would like to talk about? No? Okay. Bug scrub. David, are you the bug scrub guy today?
I am not. I actually have to leave a little bit early too.
Oh.
Can anyone share their screen that's willing to do this? I can help walk through a few of them for a few minutes. None of us can share our screen, what we're doing.
I have a clean desktop. I could do it.
I don't, so Petter had a filter or something he was running, it seems like.
Yes, on the, I think, was it the build watchers? No, it wasn't the build watchers. Was it? The not groomed or something? Can't remember. It was a label, not.
Okay, let's see what labels we got. Yeah.
Just groom.
Groom. Grooming.
No. No, I can't remember.
Well, we had a great bug scrub session last week. Do you want to just skip this this week's session?
Since I also have to leave. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess that would be wise.
Okay. Okay, I return 30 minutes to everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
That's always a good thing. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Have a good week.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.